and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blasian Conversations. I'm your host, Lamarco McClendon.
And I'm Joy Han.
So over the past, let's say almost a year, the presidential campaign has had a lot of people up in arms, a little unsure, and rooting for a certain burn. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So with all of that going on, we wanted to talk about not so much the presidential campaign, but how people come to know what political parties they align themselves with and how they come to know the policies that they may or may not vote for. So Joy, I know that you have an interesting background on how you came to know your political views. So I would like for you to share with our viewers some of your background.
So I am not your typical Republican. I come from an immigrant family. My parents are from South Korea, and I'm not an old white man. I believe that immigration should be fostered. I believe that it's one of the greatest strengths of the United States. I don't think that there should be a wall put up between us and Mexico. And honestly, I don't support Trump. Okay? And I think when it comes to my beliefs and values, they're more in line with kind of my faith. And so because of that, it's more conservative and it leans more towards that wing. And when it comes down to it, I think my views are in line with kind of the beliefs and policies behind a candidate versus just a certain party. So yes, I am a Republican, but if it comes down to it, no, I don't think I would support Trump. Does that make sense?
It does, and I think that my political views are very similar to yours. I was raised up in a Democratic family.
Okay.
And so even though I tend to lean a little bit more liberal, that tends not to necessarily be where my end-all goals might be. I would not vote for Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders just because they are Democrat. It's more so what do they stand on and things of that nature. I guess as a typical Democrat or a progressive might say, I believe that the minimum wage should be increased. I believe in universal health care. But necessarily, I am not for abortions. I believe that women should not have abortions. However, I would not tend to force my personal beliefs over on someone else, which is, I think, kind of like what gives me that distinction from the typical conservative Republican.
Yep. So a little bit of flexibility there.
Right.
So I think that staying behind policies with the Democratic Party at hand, with the folks that we do have on the board, who would you vote for?
Wow, that's a good question. I can't really say whether or not I will vote for Hillary or Bernie at this point.
Okay.
I believe that Bernie has been making a lot of good points, but it's almost like you're saying that you can do all of these brilliant things as if there will be no opposition from the Republican Party. Obama has tried to do so much, but yet he has not been successful in doing every single thing he wants. And I think that Bernie is being a little too optimistic. Whereas Hillary, she has been making like a lot of statements that I'm not sure that I can really get down with.
Yep.
And I think one of the things for me is that when you look back on the fact that she was against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now all of a sudden she's for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sometimes it can kind of make me unsure if she is the right person for the job.
We're going to have to be able to trust the person that's going to lead the nation, correct?
Right.
And I think when it comes to that, you have to kind of be genuine in what you say, and you have to kind of follow through with the things that you say.
We know that so many people have so many thoughts about the presidential campaign, but how do you come to know the things that you believe in and the policies that you would stand behind and the people that you would stand behind? So comment on our videos, like, share, and subscribe. As I said before, we would both love to hear what you at home have to say. So
see you soon.